between Kipp and Osse, two excellent runners. Should be a good match.
Yeah, and this will be the potentially the final match of the double anti-bingo tournament for SpeedGaming Live 2019. If Kipp wins this one, he's currently in the winner's bracket, if you will. Osse will need to win 2 matches here in order to take the championship on this one. So.
Yeah, it looks like we got Osse with row 4 and Kipp forced to do row 2.
Yeah, okay, so let's just kind of walk through these a little bit. So Osse's got row 4, so we're going to see him doing collect ice beam and skip speed booster, defeat Crocomire and skip high jump boots, lots of skips, activate wreck ship map station, collect 15 of 20 lower Norfair missiles and 10 plus energy tanks. While we'll have Kipp doing collect gravity suit and skip various suit, Brinstar map station, 7 plus energy tanks and 70 plus missiles, collect all 25 Brinstar power bombs and 4 reserve tanks. Both rows pretty challenging.
Yeah, I think the row 4 looks especially challenging. The defeat Croc and skip high jump boots is a pretty nasty tile, and skipping speed booster is pretty bad too.
Yeah, anytime you restrict yourself to not have those movement items, it can kind of mess with you a little bit. Now, I know both these players shouldn't be any kind of problem, but sometimes muscle memory kicks in, and that can kind of get in your way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting with row 4. It's kind of forcing Osse to go to wreck ship, but it doesn't have anything in Meridia specifically. So he could look to try to avoid Meridia completely this seed.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, obviously he's got to get to wreck ship because he's got to handle the map station. Without those high jump boots, technically there is a high jump bootless lava dive you could do if you didn't go, but because we have wreck ship map station, he'll probably just use the gravity jump, which isn't too bad to get up there even without high jump boots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are some interesting ones that they could pair these with. Both skip high jump boots and Crocomire in row 3 would go really well with row 4. Having defeat Crocomire and skip high jump boots is one of the tiles. So that's one potential option. The 7 E-tanks in row 1, or row 1 column 1, looks like it would go well with Kipp's already needing to have 7 plus E-tanks.
Yeah, there's a lot of options here. So, that's the interesting thing about double anti-bingo is just figuring out what you want to pair, right? And I think we've said it several times that, it's a very mental game because you need good movement, but you have to figure out first what's the worst thing you could give your opponent, and then what's the best thing you could do, or at least what's the best thing you can come up with short notice, right? Because these guys just found out right as the match started what they had to do. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's also really interesting. Row 2 kind of pushes Kipp in 2 different directions. The 4 reserve tanks makes you want to go down to get speed before coming back up to get to wreck ship. But there's also the collect gravity and skip various suit tile, which is telling you to do basically the opposite.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I actually I didn't catch that at first, but that's interesting. I do wonder what he's going to do because, I mean, obviously, Kipp's a multi-category type of player, so if he had to dip down into Norfair first, it wouldn't be an issue for him. But really, nobody wants to do that. I mean, the pathing just feels really inconvenient to say, I'm going to go down when he's completely comfortable just going straight up.
Looks like Osse had some randomizer muscle memory there, trying to go check criteria power bombs.
That's right, yeah.
Or blue Brinstar power bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious whether Kipp will go down or up first. I kind of have a feeling he'll go down. I think that getting the speed booster is too important.
I agree.
And hell runs aren't too bad with high jump boots. If you're forced to skip high jump boots, getting those hell runs can be a real pain, but with them it's not so bad. And Kipp is more than capable of doing like 3 tank hell runs.
Yeah, sure. All right, so no real criteria things. I didn't really notice if there were any that we could potentially pair on there, but that's you know, we've had a couple of new additions introducing some additional criteria tiles, and that's one of the things that I know we've all talked about. We kind of have to pay attention to real quick because you want to find something good, but you know, sometimes it might have criteria map station or save station, and you really don't want to just skip by them. So sometimes you just have to pause for a second, but.
Yeah, it's really easy to do so. Like, you're used to running any percent, can easily fall into muscle memory like Osse did with randomizer there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder where Kipp's planning to get E-tanks if he's going to do the hell runs. I think it's easy to get the reserve tank from Brinstar.
Yep.
That could be the only E-tank he plans to pick up, or he could plan to pick up that one and the high jump E-tank, as well as this E-tank, obviously.
Sure.
And I think the 2 E-tank, 1 reserve is definitely possible for him.
Alright.
I'm also kind of curious what else he'll do when he's down in Norfair if he goes down. What other kind of stuff he can check off the list.
Yeah. Alright, so we're coming up to our standard first major sequence break. Getting access to these early super missiles.
Yep. See if he... Yep, got the damage boost.
Yep.
Osse falling down and having to kill the guy in the same way the Kipp did. And Kipp picking up some missiles. Probably for that third tile in his row for the 70 tanks and 70 plus missiles.
Yeah, whereas we see Osse just heading out. He's got his supers ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Nice reverse mock ball from Kipp.
Oh.
Ah, Osse.
Okay.
So this is going to be a fun one. Looks like he's doing Moon Dance.
Yes.
Now, I don't really understand how Moon Dance works, but if you do this kind of moonfall motion for a certain number of times, eventually you'll like have enough fall speed that you can clip through the power bomb blocks before here and get early power bombs and a couple more supers and an extra energy tank.
Yeah, this is a relatively new trick within the community, and so I know I raced Osse a couple weeks ago, and he used the same tactic to help take care of business with me. So it's a pretty neat trick.
Yeah, Cross Product also tried this on me earlier today in our race.
Okay.
And Kipp takes the lead.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting one, right? Because it really seems like there's just nothing happening for a period of time, but in just a minute we'll see the big payoff for all this time commitment.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kipp's going to keep grabbing convenient missiles along the way.
Yeah, much less of a need to pick up extra supers because he's going to be able to get Charge Beam this seed. If I don't get Charge Beam, I like to pick up a lot more super missiles to kind of help out with bosses.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's that's something that maybe we assumed that the developers weren't expecting people to ever not try to beat the game with charge beam. Now, I mean, obviously it's possible, but the end result being that you can find yourself stuck on some of these bosses, right, or stuck in situations if you just happen to use up all your ammo. So now, does Aussie have he's got a bunch of skips he has to do, but not charge beam, right? Okay.
Nope.
High jump boots and speed.
Yep. He needs to get ice beam. Yep, ice beam.
Okay. Kipp is going up.
Aussie being careful not to
you don't.
mess this up. Yep, got it.
There he goes.
Oh, that was a little bit of an early jump.
Alright, so I guess we'll see. Technically it is possible. Kipp may see an advantage to just come up here and get the power bombs and then head back down.
Yeah, it's definitely possible.
I know last night, as we were transitioning from Super Metroid Block into some other coverage, Kipp did a 100 missiles run for us, where he does just that, but that does not appear to be the case tonight.
Well, it could be. He
I
could
guess
be
he's
getting
still-
these
you're
power
right.
bombs and then going back down.
But yeah, on that run last night, you know, we specifically talked about, you know, hey, sometimes we just have to go straight up to the top, get these power bombs, and head right back down. So
Yeah, I think a lot of the time that's actually the case. Getting those early power bombs means that if you want to go to Lower Norfair with high jump boots and Varia, you can go back down and get that without having to go to Croc.
yeah.
Yep, looks like he's going back down. Huh. Oh, yeah. He's going back into Brinstar probably to collect some more E-tanks. Both for Hell runs and for the 7+ E-tank requirement.
Yeah, I like this decision. You know, you were bringing up the point. He could easily do a 2 E-tank, 1 reserve tank run, but gosh, if he's got to collect 7 anyhow, there's quite a few over here. He can just go over 3 of them that'll be easily accessible.
If he can get, yep, he got it. The blue gate glitch. And also with those power bombs, it'll allow him to get all of the power bombs here as well in Brinstar. All of the remaining power bombs, I should say.
Alright, Kipp getting some super missiles too.
So with those supers, he may be looking at that middle tile of 30+ supers. Not sure exactly how he plans to pair that with it. Haven't really looked at the card enough.
Yeah. So
Oh, maybe he's just getting... I don't think he would get them for safety here. Didn't hear... yeah. There we go.
Yeah, no, that's that's a green gate glitch that we have to do specifically for the wave gate there. Typically, you're limited to being able to access this energy tank by having the wave beam. But I think we saw Aussie do that a little bit earlier while we were talking about some other stuff. But that's just a pretty standard trick you have to do in a lot of these matches just because of the limitation. If nothing, you know, sometimes you can't have wave and sometimes routing just makes it way too inconvenient, which is really the case for Kipp.
Yeah. Yep, Kipp headed to Edikune's next. Probably picking up some more super missiles as well as another power bomb pack. And another E-tank. Kind of killing 3 birds with 1 stone there.
Yeah, and this makes sense. I think at this point Ozzy may be ready to head on over to Wreck Ship.
Get that Wreck Ship map station. If it weren't for that tile, I think that he would be able to avoid Wreck Ship completely. Just go down, or depending on whether he knows high jump with lava dive, which I think he does.
Yeah.
And with Osse picking up these power bombs, he might be looking at a power bomb spot too. Maybe not, because I don't see any more. But
yeah, the only other one would be, column 4 has all 25 Brinstar power bombs, which I think that gets all of them for him.
did he go down to alpha power bombs?
He did not.
Yeah, I think those are the last ones.
Did not.
Although I'm not 100% on that. Didn't see him pick up Mission Impossible, so he might have. It's really hard to track.
Speaking of which, want to thank Linkforce over there for tracking for us on the card. He does a great job at this, and thanks to Stump for doing the last one. The trackers really are the unsung heroes of this. Commentary, you just get up here and yak for a little while and try to speculate at what people are doing. Trackers actually have to be paying attention.
Yep. And that's all 25 for Kipp. Osse getting across the moat, first try every time. Yeah, the more I look at this card, the harder it seems to pair anything with anything. Seems like just a disgusting card.
Yeah, it's a very difficult card, which I think you can really tell. I mean, we're almost 20 minutes in, and both runners are still in their power suits. There's just so much to do that just hasn't been time to go in and get a suit yet. So.
Yep. This is the first boss that'll be fought by Osse. Other than Bomb Chorizo, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see how Fantune. We're already getting a slow pattern.
Typical Fantune.
Sure. Now, of course, this is going to be a much more comfortable fight for Osse than normal, having multitudes of energy.
Couple of kind of not the best Dopplers there.
Yeah.
This might end up being a 4-round. Yep.
But air Dopplers are always fun.
Yeah.
Just hard, just difficult to pull off. Yeah. Good.
That's a dead elephant ghost. Kipp heading down to high jump boots. Looks like he's going to get another E-tank, which is really nice here for the refill as well as the extra energy before going into hell runs. Osse getting the wreck ship map tile. Okay, it looks like he's also getting the map. Yep, because that's one of his tiles.
Yeah, and that's a change that was recently made to the bingo logic. If we noticed, anybody that's familiar with, we had a double anti-bingo tournament within the community earlier this summer. Now we saw that Osse went in and actually activated the map station. And so there's been some adjustment to the tiles, and one of which is that map station tile, which kind of actually forces the runner to complete the fight with Fantoon. Previously, you could just walk in the room and say, yep, I went to the map station. But the goal being to try to push things in a little bit different direction and maybe make things a little more interesting, mix it up a little bit. We've had previous logic for quite a little while, so. Lunaris has been doing a lot of the big work on that. I think Lunaris is out there watching. I'm not sure. We don't have chat right in front of us, but we really appreciate the work put into it. As we see Kipp handling the hell runs, no problem.
Yep. Osse finished up Attic as well. Yeah, the biggest problem with hell runs is that they're slow. You can see Kipp farming here. This takes a lot of time.
Now, I would assume that Kipp would just, as soon as he had speed, just take off.
I'm not so sure, because I think that if he has another objective down here, he might not want to come back here. So, if he's looking to pair it with something down here, he might want to pick something else up. Given that he's farming, he might be planning to go to wave.
Yep.
Ah, reserve.
Of course, he's got the reserve tank.
Oh, yep, he's got 4 reserves.
That's right.
Double anti-bingo is hard.
That's right. And that was a real slick D-boost that we saw from Kipp right there. He needs to be careful here.
Yep. Yeah, he should have plenty of energy.
Yeah. Well, and I think that maybe the reverse boss order path that Kipp takes has this exact same circumstance in it. I almost wonder if he's just gone into autopilot mode for that right now.
I think that they only pick up 1 reserve for reverse boss order, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
If I know. At least the really advanced players do. So if I were Kipp, I would be looking at any tiles that don't pull me back down to Meridia again. Yeah, I might be looking at column 3 for Kipp. Plasma Beam is really annoying, but not too much else that's too bad. Can't do column 4 because he's already got high jump. Can't do column 1 because he's got speed booster. Can't do column 2 because he has high jump. And column 5 I don't think looks very good. Maybe though. Looking at the diagonals, he can't do top right, bottom left because he has high jump, and top left, bottom right would require him to go to lower north air. So, don't think he's going to do that. Although that is possible.
Well, so this has been a really fun event thus far. We've got to see a lot of really good runs. Zeb, I know you just got to go up there.
Got to get crushed by Osse.
You've been enjoying yourself, though? Having a good time?
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I really enjoy double anti-bingo, in spite of how hard it is, or maybe because of how hard it is.
Yeah.
I think that the way it makes you think is really interesting. It makes you kind of route on the fly in a way kind of similar to randomizer, but a bit different. I think it's quite a bit harder than randomizer. A lot more thinking.
Huh. Well, yeah, I know it's been a real fun time for all of us to, I think we've said it time and time again, you just don't often get to see all these people face to face and do fun things like this. So it's a real good time, and we really appreciate SpeedGaming putting this event on.
Yeah. Osse going into pre-high jump room, or can room, just to get that E-tank. Because he can't get high jump. So he currently has 6 E-tanks, meaning he still needs another 4. One of those will probably be Croc. One of those likely will be... Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll have to see what he decides to route in.
Well, we will see for sure a dip down to lower north air. So Firefly...
Yeah, I think Firefly is pretty likely. Less sure about the Ridley E-tank, as fighting Ridley can be a bit of a pain.
Yeah, that's never one you really want to choose to do.
We're seeing why skipping high jump can be a bit of a pain there on Osse's screen. Having to bomb jump up there is pretty annoying.
Let's see, did you notice if Kipp went to the map station?
I don't think he did.
Okay.
So if he's planning to do column 3, then he'll have to go back down. Not 100% that he is. He could also be doing top left, bottom right. But it seems like he's definitely doing 30 plus supers. So I would guess he's doing one of those two.
Yeah, he's got at least 25 right now. Yep.
Yep.
He just remembered. Yeah, it is worth mentioning that for these matches that we're doing on stream here with commentary, the runners actually have some white noise on their headphones, so they can't hear us. So we didn't necessarily just give them the edge there.
No, we were just like Kipp, so we were telling him that he forgot wreck ship map station.
Right, Ossie's in the Lower Norfair.
Kipp doing the old route version of Attic with that giant spark across. Very nice.
Now, having done this collect 15 Lower Norfair missiles tile a few times, the biggest adjustment for me was remembering, after leaving worst room in the game here, to actually go up and get the missiles right above this. So, you know, again, because there's so much effort put into this room all the time, it's really easy to say, oh, I'm just going to keep going, and then having to go backwards through Coliseum, or Amphitheater, I should say, is pretty unpleasant.
Nice job by Osse getting that wall jump. That's a frame-perfect wall jump.
Okay.
It can take some runners hours on end, and they still don't get it, so really nice there.
And Osse definitely, he had the mental capacity. He remembered better than I did to get the Mickey Mouse missiles up here, so.
Make sure not to fall down. Ooh. Yeah, that was a rough spot for Osse to fall into, especially with those beams going right above his head.
Yeah, and you know, that's an interesting one. If you do get stuck down there, one of the worst things you can actually try to do is immediately jump out, because that guy is going to shoot at you. And so that was something early on, you know, when you're in Lower Norfair, everything hits like a truck, and so you get a little on edge, and you're like, oh, I gotta hurry, I gotta get out of the acid. So pretty heads up move on his part to just relax for a second, wait for the beams to fly by.
Yeah, I know I would have tried to jump out.
Yeah. Now I'm just gonna call it here that, you know, Osse doing that room so perfectly in the dark is just a little bit of that Link to the Past coming out, because, you know, in that room we see a lot with those guys when they don't have the ability to light, you know, lamp and things like that, and they just all have to know the room upside down and backwards. So Osse's just like, you know, let's make this game a little harder.
Yeah, I'm not sure that he even needed to darken the room. Not sure what he needed the power bombs for.
All right, and that's 15 Lower Norfair missiles for Osse.
Yep. Still needs to defeat Croc and get a couple more E-tanks. At this point, I'd be looking at Mama Turtle and possibly Baboon. Yeah, it's still kind of unclear what he's trying to pair it with. I think probably row 1, or column 1, I mean. Yeah, column 1 I think makes sense. If he's going into Meridia, he'll go into Shack Tool anyway.
Yeah, I can see it. At 70 tanks, get Croc, Mama Turtle, Botwin, head straight to Shack Tool.
And this will be Kipp's 6th E-Tank, so we'll just need the Baboon one after this.
Ozzy has decided to physically push Croc backwards.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone get so close to Croc like that before. Try to jump into him. It's also been getting a lot of swipes.
There we go.
And that should be 30 supers for Kipp. Not sure what his missile count is at right now. Going to get the last reserve. Then I think all he'll need to do is probably get precious missiles, Baboon E-Tank, kill Dragon, and then go to Plasma.
Yeah, that does seem to be the case.
And with Osse going to get Grapple Beam, I think that confirms that he's trying to do Column 1. Because I don't think there's any other reason to, other than going to Spring Ball. I know Osse knows how to Crystal Flash clip, so he could have also gotten there through that method. Maybe he thinks that would be slower than going to get Grapple Beam, as you need to damage yourself down and make sure that you have enough ammo.
Now he will have a little bit more difficult time getting a Spring Ball without high jump boots.
Yeah. And I don't think he'll have Space Jump either. I don't think there's any reason for him to get that, so. He probably isn't Crystal Flash clipping because he needs the Crystal Flash afterwards to finish.
That's a good point. Yeah, you know, when I read that tile, finishing a Shine Spark or Crystal Flash, I almost always just think Shine Spark.
Wow. Osse not getting any supers here. Got one there. There we go. Oh, Kipp's not playing with any audio, so he kind of blind fired at Baboon. Yep, and that's Kipp's last E-Tank. Hopefully we'll see a full halfie here. Oh, bonk the door. Yeah, looks like we got some cool trophy kind of stuff for first and second place. Give out to Kipp and Osse.
I like it. Got that that SM logo on there.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. So with Osse101, never mind. He's got 10 E-tanks after Bot Moon. He'll be fine. So this is actually a pretty close race. I think Kipp's got it, but all Osse's got to do is get that, beat Bot Moon, get that E-tank, and then get Spring Ball.
Yeah, and with the suit that Kipp just got there, he's not even going to wait for a go to space jump.
Nice grapple tricks from Osse there. Oh no.
And Kipp hits a little bonk.
Yeah, I think Kipp will finish at about the same time as Osse is getting the E-tank.
Yeah, it's really good race. Really good race.
Only a couple minutes separating the two runners. Oh. Unless Kipp keeps messing this up. Osse, I think, froze that Machtroid a little bit high. Yeah. Bot Moon demonstrating his awful hitbox. Nice special beam attack. Osse.
And Kipp is done.
Yep. GG, Kipp.
GG.
Osse should be finishing in about, I'd say, 3 minutes.
Yeah. Still a real fast time.
Yeah, especially for this card. This card was really nasty. Osse needs to get those 10 supers so that he can Crystal Flash at the end.
So you're right, yeah, he's going for the Crystal Flash clip.
No, he won't be going for the clip. He'll just be...
Oh, of course, yeah.
He's got to finish in Crystal Flash.
I've done that twice already.
Curious what method Osse will choose to get up to Bot Wounds, or Spring Ball. Probably Ice Clip. He's got Ice Beam, so I think that's easier than
Doing the IBJ out of the
yeah,
sand.
IBJ out of the sand, or Gravity Jump out of the sand, or anything like that. Or maybe not. Okay, he's going for the Gravity Jump. I think that was a little early of a pause. It's a little bit to the left. Yeah, looking at Osse's pause menu, he's only got like 5 items on that layout. It's pretty crazy for this point in the game.
This is a fun trick. I don't know that I've seen the gravity jump version.
There we go.
There he is.
Nicely done. Yeah, for most normal people, you would want to have either high jump or space jump to get up there, if you're going that way. And Osse damaging himself down off of Shack Tool, so he can finish in that Crystal Flash. Thankfully, he doesn't have any reserves.
So right after Osse finishes, we'll get both guys over here and we can present the trophies.
And then after that, we're going to have another race of Super Metroid between me, Zeb316, and Osse. Should be a good one.
Should be a good race. You feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
All right, focused, ready to go?
Yep.
All right.
Now he just needs to Crystal Flash. And GG to Osse.
Let's see if we can maybe get these guys to come on over. Oh, and we're going to break.
Okay. Is this on? Okay. Um, that was a pretty good race. GG to Kipp and Osse. Kipp, how did you feel about that card?
Hey, man, that card was pretty crazy. First, before I get to the card, just want to say GG to Aussie. It was really awesome getting to race you again. Obviously, I have the utmost respect for you. You are a fantastic Zelda player and Super Metroid player. That was a lot of fun. I got to give him credit. I did not even notice the row that he assigned me until he assigned it to me, and I was like, oh, my God, I'm going to have to hell run to Speed Booster and then go back up to Gravity. But, yeah, that card was really interesting. I obviously didn't get to see, what he ended up doing or what he paired with it, but what I was going for is just trying to make him run around to a lot of different areas of the map and do some difficult, potential tricks and stuff. And I think mine kind of came together in terms of it didn't end up being quite as dangerous as it could have been, because I tried to collect all the Brinstar stuff before I ever did a hell run, so I kind of had some leeway with my health and power bombs and super. So it was a fun run, and to be honest, like sometimes with Super Metroid, you either play well or you don't. I feel like I kind of got lucky, and I played pretty decently on that one. If I had maybe played a little worse and missed a few tricks, it could have been a lot worse. So I was really happy.
Yeah, and how about you, Osse? How did you feel about moon dancing into
Yeah.
early
Uh,
power bombs?
So first off, Kip Kip is a great player. I'm learning a lot from him because he's the veteran at bingo and dab, and so even throughout this tournament, like, I was telling him that I'm learning which rows to choose based on his choices. Um, the seed itself was a ton of fun. And that's because I got to demonstrate a lot of the tricks that seldom come up in randomizer, but they found a place here because I was forced to get all those E-tanks, so why not moon dance? I had no high jump or speed for Lorne Orfair, so do that double frame perfect wall jump just because.
Wait, you actually pulled that off?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I've never even done that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty quick, too.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I just had a lot of fun with this race in particular.
Yeah, and you guys finished first and second in the tournament. So we've got some trophies here that we'd like to present to you.
Excellent.
I'm going to let Fiesel jump in real quick.
Well, hello everybody, and congratulations not only on the winning, but being, I think, the first of the tournaments to finish, to include so far. So you're speedy in that regard too. So I was really happy to see Super Metroid Dab in this event. It wasn't even originally one of the side tournaments, but we were looking around for what other games do people have a lot of interest in, and Super Metroid seems to have really taken the cake. Lots of people really wanted to see Super Metroid in apparently multiple forms in this event here, and I was just really glad to see it. I think this is a very fun, dynamic, and challenging way of using a non-randomized version of the game to do something really unique that requires a lot of strategy. Also, in my opinion, it's cool because it's one of the few ways that a proper speedrun can actually interact with the other person in the way that you pick rows and have to sort of get in your opponent's mind and think what's going to be the hardest for him, what's really going to be daunting for him to do, him or her or whatever. So I really appreciate you guys doing this and all the hard work that everyone put into making this tournament happen. And I want to present our trophies. So we have a first place trophy, goes to our winner, Kipp. Congratulations.
Thank you, Fiesel. I appreciate it. And just to briefly say again, thank you so much for putting this on. We're having a blast. Even, tournament aside, just hanging out with everybody and having an event to go to. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. And I'd like to give congratulations to our second place winner, Osse. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You put on a great event here.
Thanks.
Glad to be part of it.
Well, you'll continue to be part of it because you are still in some more
That's right.
tournaments. You'll be seeing more of Osse tomorrow. And you'll be seeing more Super Metroid tonight because after this we have the conclusion of the Any Percent tournament. So we'll see 2 to 3 matches coming up this evening right after this. Anything else you want to say, guys?
Just thank you to everybody that did the commentary. We also had several other people that were in this tournament that were very flexible about helping us get the races together and done. So really appreciate everybody's effort. It was a lot of fun playing with everyone.
All right. Thank you.